This is Mike Rich from the CIPD office. This is a quick video intended for G230 and Elliott teachers on how to assign the Florida virtual curriculum to their students. This is the first video for the very first day. We recognize there's going to be so much more that we're going to learn. We're going to continue to support and provide training opportunities. Much of that will come from the questions that you have as you go through this. So really appreciative of your willingness to kind of be on the front lines and really go after this. So first thing to do is you're just going to go into Schoology, and within groups, by the time you have this video, if you're a G230 or MVA or Elliott teacher, you should see this FLVS digital curriculum 912. If you don't see it, just go to My Groups, and then it'll be a big long list, and you'll see it in there. So once you click on here, you're going to see that it kind of brings you up to a blank page, and really the important part right here is this resource folder. So in resource folder, you're going to see all the different core content areas, as well as world language, health and PE, and then non-core electives. When you click on any, these are color-coded just so they stand out. There's no reason for those color coding. If you click on one, for example, ELA, you'll see the courses that we're able to offer. So ELA 1 would be 9th grade, and then the 9th grade honors class. ELA English 2 would be the sophomore class, and so on. Within these subfolders, if you find a folder that's red, like this AP Lit and Comp class, that means as we were loading the classes, we have an issue with that. We've sought some help, and hopefully we get those technical issues cleared up soon. But please do not assign anything with a red folder. You'll see as we go through this, if we go to the math section, you'll see math classes. Notice right here, there's a personal financial literacy. That's like a financial math class. And when you click on it, it's a one-semester class only. I recognize that's different than current practice, but for right now, that's a one-semester class only. As you click on other courses, let's say Algebra 1, you'll notice here there's two. There's the S1 class, the Semester 1 class, and the Semester 2 class. We purposely broke those up so that depending on what course they need, they would have that. I would suggest assigning one semester of that at a time to students, but you know your program the best. To get back again, I'm just clicking on resources. You can go through all of these. Notice in social science, really the only core class that we had an issue with was the U.S. history class. Please do not assign that until we get that color-coded. We're hoping to get that within the next day or two. We're just waiting for some technical help from Florida Virtual for that. And then as you go through, you can see this in world languages. We also had an issue with the Spanish 2 and then our 2 French classes. So we'll work on getting those done. I recognize that's an inconvenience, and we apologize profusely for that. We'll work really hard to get those in place for you. Let's say we want to assign a class to a student. So you might have a class that's generated from PowerSchool, and in that PowerSchool class, you've got different sections for the different courses. Or you might just be assigning it to an individual student. So you might have a class in Schoology just for one student, and you're assigning them to that. Either way, the way you'd go about it, let's say we're going to assign the Algebra 1 class. Let's say they needed that for some credit. You would click on Algebra 1, and let's say they need that second semester class. So you would come over here to the gear, and you'd click on that, and right here where it says Add to Course, you might not see the edit options that just because of the permissions I have for this folder, but add to course is what you would want to do. So you'd go ahead and you would add that to course, and you can see here are all the different courses that I have available to me. I'm going to select this checkbox next to this FLVS training course just because I don't have any student classes with students. I hit add, and then it says right here, hey, it's pretty big, so it might take a minute. Usually it's pretty quick. That's more of just kind of a warning. But if I go now over to my courses and I click on my FLVS training course, you'll see that algebra class has now been added, right? And if I click within that algebra class, the second semester, so you can see that there's all the second half of the course. I've also copied in the welcome folder from all of the, not just in the S1 courses, but we've included them into the S2 courses. That's to help the kids become familiar if they're just taking a second half. I would highly recommend that you have the kids go to the course information page. This would be a good thing to go through maybe as a whole class or individually, depending on how you interact with your students. A lot of good information here. They should spend a good amount of time that first day learning all of this. Of particular interest is this pacing charts. I think that's a really important thing to go over. You'll see here there's a couple of different options. Really the traditional pace That's what we're going to be working on. So the traditional pace, you'll see segment 1, that means first semester. And you can see here's the modules. This is week 6. Here's what they should be doing in week 6 to get it done on if they're going on a full year schedule. And then you can see here's a second semester. Now, if you wanted to, I'm going to click back on the welcome, and that brings me back to this folder here. I think a really nice tool that I can see Elliott and G230 using under pacing charts is this option right here that says Individual Pace Planner. So the Individual Pace Planner will allow you to come in here and you can put the name of the student, and you can say, hey, I'm just having them do the second semester, and they're going to start on the 10th, and I want them to get this done by the end of August. Or they could do how many hours a week they're going to work on. When you hit go, this will generate a in this case a 4-week plan for this individual student that you could print out and give them and say, okay, here's what you have to get done to be done on time. It gives them the week, right? And it gives them about how many minutes each lesson should take. So this is a really useful tool when dealing with individual students and how they will take those classes. For right now, that's how you assign a course. Hopefully that goes well. Again, as you open the course, I'll open it big here, and they go on to Module 6, Statistics. This right here will be the actual lesson. Click on Introduction. In this case, this is a pre-test. They'll walk them through the course. They get some specific instructions on what to do, and it'll help them understand the process, where all the different pieces are, how to navigate. You can see up here it'll do the same thing where they could jump from thing to thing or use the arrow. So you've got some objectives, some of the different issues here. So I would make sure that they're spending time going through that. And hopefully this was helpful and that you're able to work with your students. Again, we'll provide lots of training as we learn and grow together. Please do not hesitate to send your questions so that we can help you answer and meet your individual needs. Thank you.